right down the block. You know where it's at. You study my whole neighborhood. Or pull up in front of the Kmart and let's bang out and let's do it on camera. I throw my life away and you throw your life away right now. Right now. Let's do it for the camera. Right now. And if you win, I'll make sure I got like $70,000 in my pocket. If you body me, you can take the money. Right now. I hate you, nigga. Let's die.
I didn't think the day would come, but after 2 years, we got Hell's Paradise Season 2. So, we start out at Ohashi Inn with one of the Osaemon named Jika being questioned in regards to what happened and what transpired on the island. It is important to note that he was the only person to return from the exposition, and apparently his prisoner got dropped off before the boat even reached the island. The dude was known as the Killer Prayer, and he got knocked out by Azakobe. Despite this, he still touched the island itself and sat on the beach and somehow made it back, despite the fact that nobody in season 1 could devise a safe way back from it. Bro even managed to bring back a souvenir, and by souvenir I mean the head of a behemoth of a monster. Bro even casually said they would know not to go back to the island if I was to show them this. But oh well. Like, oh well? Bro, there ain't no way you could convince me to go back to that island if I brought back a giant head. Bro was mad casual talking to the higher ups too. They asked bro how he got back and he simply said, there's no point in explaining. Like, bro, what? Then they decided to sentence bro to go back to Super Hell and observe the happenings of the island. Mind you, he just told them that it's not just any island, and in fact, it is not of this world. Shugen, who was another Osaemon, was selected to head to the island himself with the assistance of 2 others. Now, obviously, it wasn't just for fun, and in all actuality, they wanted to know what happened to the other Osaemon on the island. They cut back to the island, and the nefarious overlords are caught gooning with each other under the guise of generating more Tao and power. It vaguely shows us all of them gathered up in the luxury part of the land before cutting to the characters that we actually care about. Sagiri and her group were inside of Tensen's castle and decided to head out and search for Gabimaru and Mei. It was even suggested by this lovely baddie herself that they shouldn't wait and search for Gabimaru, but instead they should hunt for the elixir of life. But Sagiri calls her bluff because they know it doesn't exist, and instead she calls her out for trying to basically get the Osaemon to collectively take her side and defend the fact that they need to return home empty-handed. That girl originally thought that Sagiri would be pissed, but she takes her up by their hands and glazes her for her logical thinking. She says that she wants to leave with her, but she wants them all to leave together, including Gabimaru. Gabimaru's group was walking up a mountain in search of Tensen's castle, but hadn't had any luck yet. In the process, Gabimaru was struggling with his memory and was unable to recall why he was on the island doing this in the first place. In the middle of him telling his group mates that he was fine, however, he comes face to face with a new duo of weirdo siblings. The siblings were Azakobe and Toma. Right out of the gate, Aza gets on timing and delivers a kick to Gabimaru, who blocks it just in the nick of time. Gabimaru's friends wanted to know if they should help out and step in, and he told them to step back, while he jumped on Aza's shoulders and broke his neck. Bro fell out on the ground and Gabimaru starts gloating, only for Mei to tell him Aza's Tao was big. Aza stood right up and slammed Gabimaru into the concrete in front of him while denying the help of his own brother in the process. Gabimaru wonders if Aza is one of the immortal beings that rule the island and plans to tie him up and interrogate him. But he drastically underestimates bro because he launched a kick in his face but ended up getting his foot grabbed. Then that led to him getting spun around and slammed into the concrete again. Aza gets offended when he hears the leaking Gabimaru laugh, but Gabimaru simply tells him that he just has to break him like he always does, and that's all he thinks about. And honestly, if I was immortal like bro, I would want to avoid the situation at all costs, because while Gabimaru might not be as durable as Aza, he definitely isn't lacking in the murderous intent category, if you catch my drift. He then takes a rock and shoots it at Aza's head to force him off balance while dodging, which would create an opening for him to target a kick at his brain. He lands it and proceeds to walk him down with 2 punches before gouging out his left eye. Meanwhile, he's literally talking about how removing senses should still work on the undead people. Like, I guess bro, you are the greatest assassin, so whatever you say goes. But just as he goes in to continue the barrage, Aza kicks bro away with his dirty bare foot. We see Gabimaru recover and spit something out, and it looks like a tooth and some blood. But in fact, it was the Achilles tendon on the back of bro's foot that he bit off while he was getting kicked. They start trading swings back and forth, and while nothing is connecting at first, Gabimaru isn't just going through the motions. He's aiming for straight vitals until he finally connects. He ends up locking his left thumb into Aza's eye and uses it for leverage to pull himself up onto his chest and then bites the hell out of his neck. Bro was moving like the most vicious version of a vampire you could think of. Nothing close to Mocha from Rosario Vampire. vampire. Bro was giving straight Hellsing ultimate vampire work. He was trying to suck bro dry. Pause. He jumps back to watch him bleed out, but Aza was hiding a sinister surprise. He wasn't even fully in that mode. And unfortunately for Gabimaru, he is now. Bro stomps on the dirt in front of him and shatters all the soil and rock underneath Gabimaru's feet. Bro calls him weak and then speed blitzes him, ready to send him to the upper room with an insane right hook. Gabimaru puts up a rock wall, but that did nothing to save him. That punch did just like the horses that Young Thug be talking about and kept going. He cracked that boy Gabimaru's ribs like he was doing CPR. Gabimaru catches his footing and tries to deliver a left, but Oz's eyes go full dark mode just like my Google Chrome browser right now as he parries the punch while sending him flying with a left of his own. And somehow, yet again, that boy Gabimaru the Eater managed to throw 2 of bro's fingers in the process and spits them out while we see him regrowing them. This is the 3rd time he's made a meal out of bro, by the way. May remarks that his Tao is wrong and sees the Tao energy in his head is missing and distorted, which gave a nod to his memories being foggy and him not having a reason to go all out, which was holding him back from truly being OP. Gabimaru realizes something's off, but jumps in again and rips off one of Aza's cheeks before Aza smiled and grabbed him up by his dome. He then called to his brother Toma and told him to handle the others, to just handle that light work, and then he got on timing too. Timing might be a bit of a stretch though, because he decided to go for the biggest target with one arm and elected to stab him instead of trying to cut through his muscle. And he got his sword grabbed. Yeah, bro asked him why he chose to attack him first and wondered if he felt like he was free eat since he only had one arm. So he pulled the sword from his hands, then took the Captain Hook left that he has, pulled bro close and headbutted him so hard he put a dent in the ground. Bro then started tripping bad and threw the sword back, claiming that he would wash him while not even drawing his own sword. Toma picks up the sword and then has an internal dialogue about using the experience and knowledge that the geezer has against him. But this went out the window when he ran in and got punched dead in his face and then swung the sword again just to have it caught underneath the old man's shoe. Bro glazed him for a second about his instincts and reflexes, but then told him that his technique was mid and he needed to step it up. He then gives him a quick lesson using his one good arm as the belt that he would use to put Toma on all fours. We see Toma steady himself once again and the old man takes notice that he's more locked in than before. Bro stands up for real this time. Toma calls out to this half human half blob thing and demands that it handle the rest of Gabimaru's party as well. It then hobbles over with only an upper body to fight with. Meanwhile, Gabimaru and Aza are still going at it, trading blows. Aza knows Gabimaru is tough, but he wants to put him down for good. He runs in and down slams my best eater. Had him munching straight rock and sediment over there. He realized that he needs to reach a higher gear to win and decides to make himself hollow. And despite his memories being locked away, he draws power from the words of the old geezer that told him, "Ninjas should never die. If they die, they need to harm their opponent as much as humanly possible before succumbing to death." And this leads to him bringing out the flames again. At first, Aza just thinks he's cooking himself and steps back to prepare another attack, but that boy Gabimaru was not playing no games and hits him with that fire-style fireball jutsu and then proceeds to send stones blazing straight through his flesh immediately afterwards, before running down on him and pinning him to the floor. Aza quickly realizes that he's getting chopped and fried faster than he can regenerate now, and things are looking real grim for him. We see what we thought would be his final words to Gabimaru as he asks if he intends to die as well, and Gabimaru says absolutely, since he can't even remember the mission. Even if he dies, another shinobi from the village would take his place, and that's just straight dog mentality. He said, nah, if I can't win, we will both lose. And honestly, considering the memories that he lost, it really made sense. But he messed up when he reminded Aza that Aza did have something to lose by dying: his brother. Everybody knows you don't put a battery in somebody's back like that. Had bro ready to turn into Jordan Poole at an NBA game when the baddies were courtside. Bro decided that in that moment, he needed to go all the way and transformed into this horrendously crispy, tall, red, and ugly monster, barely capable of speech. The only thing that he could muster was the words, "I'm breaking." Meanwhile, that beast thing that was only an upper half got off screen by my dual-bladed goat, and Toma looked over to see his brother literally going off the deep end right in front of his eyes. And then the episode closed. If you rock with the vid, smash that like button and subscribe and help us in our pursuit of 100,000 samurai joining the syndicate led by your one and only Sensei Cole. And like I always say, AYC, what you got for me?
Your theme is peace.